something else.
Hello, humans. My name is Fatu. Thank you for joining me on this next episode of This Could Be a Book podcast, where I read from my personal journals for public consumption for us to have honest, open, and hard conversations to heal traumas and to build a positive, well-rounded tribe on this ghetto-ass planet. Enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dana, and this is
Fatu.
Thank you for joining us on Make sure that you like, subscribe, check us out on Facebook, Twitter.
Now I'm gonna have to start a Twitter account.
I was like Twitter, not on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's what it is. I know it started with a T. And look, I paused. I'm like, yeah, that's the wrong T. Thank you very much for joining us on today's episode. We will be speaking about the love languages and how they impact relationships. Do you remember what the 5 love languages are?
I think so.
I'd like to hear it.
Are you not gonna tell me?
No, I want you to tell. See if you remember off the top of your head.
Acts of service, quality time, physical touch. I don't know the other 3.
Words of affirmation and gifts.
And gifts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, I always put acts of service and gifts together.
Yeah.
But they're 2 different ones.
All right. So for those of you who don't know of the different 5 love languages, you have words of affirmation, which is encouraging, affirming, appreciating, and listening actively. How you would convey that to someone is just like sending unexpected notes, text messages, calls, and things of that nature. Physical touch literally is that nonverbal use of body language and touch to show love. Generally in the forms of hugs, kisses, cuddling, holding hands, those type of things. PDA, receiving gifts, thoughtfulness, make your whoever the other person is a priority by when they're speaking and they're saying things that they like, or they show you pictures of nice places, nice shoes, games that are coming up or something like that, that you try to invest in getting those things for them. You give thoughtful gifts and gestures, express gratitude when receiving those particular gifts. Anything in the kitchen is a great idea if you're thinking of me and or cologne. You can't go wrong with some cologne.
Go ahead.
Quality time is that uninterrupted and focused conversation. One-on-one time is important, and that just looks like creating special moments, take walks, and do small things with that particular person. Acts of service is that let them know that you are wanting to help and that you desire to lighten the load. Make them breakfast or dinner, go out of your way to help with the chores and or things that they're doing. If you know that your spouse is a police officer, try to make sure that everything that they need for the day is already at the door waiting for them. Their uniform is starched, ironed, and whatever else they need. If your person is a chef, make sure that the knives are always sharpened, or that you get the particular tool that sharpens the knives better. Make sure that you take special care when you are dealing with those particular items in the house. If you have someone that's into communications, like technology type of stuff, make sure that you look out for things like better microphones, better USB, better docking stations, purchase a monitor, and or purchase something simple like a power, what is that?
Power strip?
No, not a power strip. I'm thinking of the power pack that you keep the phones and other devices charged, or just a backpack that could house all of those things. Just anything to let them know that you're there. I guess that kind of go hands in hands with gifts, because you're purchasing that.
What is your love? What are your love languages?
Oh, my love language is quality time. You so silly. Quality time.
But
gifts,
in order, because you took the quiz, correct?
Yes.
So what did the quiz tell you?
Gifts.
Receiving or giving?
Both.
Okay.
Gifts, acts of service, and quality time.
Okay. Mine is act of service, quality time, and physical touch. Which is crazy. I always, but the physical touch is only really with a romantic partner. It's not so much with a platonic person. Like I see, I may give a hug or something like that, but generally speaking, I don't really want you to touch me unless I want to be touched.
I don't even bring up physical touch because it's only with a romantic partner that I want to be touched. I hug my friends. I am learning that is a way that many of my friends need me to communicate with them.
I know, I can tell by their reactions when you,
and so honesty and truthfulness and being open and just being able to express what your love languages are, they help the relationship, because if it wasn't for one of my really good sisters telling me that it feels weird to hug like this, because this is how I'm always hugging, church hug. She was like, sis, hug me like face to face, like give me a real hug. Like I feel weird when, and so ever since she made that comment, I've been intentional about hugging like face to face, front to front. And not only with her, but with other people that I deem on that same level of relationship with her. You know, work best friend. The first time I did it, she said she almost cried because she was just like, "What's going on?" Because she knows
different. Because this is like,
that's not me.
Okay, but this is
like tap. It be real, you know.
But that's still, it's the same thing.
But yeah, for her, it felt like a tap. So yeah, I had to switch it up. But it was because she was explaining to me that that's her love language, and she needs that from me as part of our relationship. And then like during Christmas break, it was very important for me to break down how I communicate love to those that I love. And one of the first things that I did was I had a bunch of stamps and I had some cards, and so I just wrote everyone a card and I sent it off. And the responses were very, very, very uplifting, and they were very
appreciated.
Very appreciated. But what I'm looking for is fulfilling to my cup, because it was so much that it overpoured into my saucer.
Yeah.
And I was able to so easily and quickly give that out to others. And they all came at different times. Some best friend just got hers like 2-3 weeks ago.
I know. I remember having that conversation.
This is April, so she got hers like the first week of April, and I sent it during that Christmas break.
Yeah.
So she should have definitely had it before we came back to school. But you know,
best friend, work best friend. Did you check your mail? That's what we want to know. Did we check the mail?
Penny, did you check the mail now? That is why knowing what your love language is very important to a relationship. But it's more, or as important, because I'm not going to say more, because you are important. You should be number one. Those that you love and deem as important should be number two. So it's important for you to know what their love language is.
First of all, I think it's very important for you to know what your love language is.
Right.
Personally. When I hear that people are hesitant to find out, or they just flat out, I'm just not going to do it. What I think of is you don't really want to know you. Because most people think when they learn, love languages, it's about the person. It's about the person, like the other person. Like I'm learning what my love language is for that person. not really realizing that when you learn your love language and you know how you want to give and receive love, you can convey that to that person, because people should meet you where you are.
Right.
And so you can either wiggle, okay, so mine could be physical touch and you don't like to be touched. So I may have to back off and know that you may not physically touch me, even though that's what I need and I can convey that. But yours could be, okay, so I'm gonna give you this gift. And that's how you show love. When you understand who you are, you then can build relationships or help relationships with others. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta know you.
I appreciate the era that we're living in now with self-care being of importance.
Yeah, because
I think that just, your love language is part of your self-care. Just knowing who you are on a better level, deeper level, and then when you're in tune with the universe and your God and your values and your morals and your beliefs, then it just breaks down who you are and that self-care even more, so that you can go into different avenues, whether it be meditation, whether it be massaging, whether it be counseling, whether it be potting, whether it be hanging out with friends, just being out with people more because you're such a recluse, or retracting yourself from being out so much and just spending some time in silence and quiet.
I feel like I'm just now starting to take care of me. Self-care.
What do you think were some hurdles, or?
Because I always thought that it was selfish. But also, because I had a conversation with me about this. It was a while ago when we did the mask. And I thought about how refreshed I felt afterwards. And then you realize, if I don't take care, and I say it all the time, if you don't take care of you, then you can't take care of other people. But I was always taking care of other people, and no one took care of me. They just took. And so thus the Humpty Dumpty. But then through interacting and conversations and actions from you is what helped me to realize that it's not selfish, it's selfless. Because you have to take care of you. And not just, for me, it's the bare minimum of even eating. Because I will go all day and then realize, dang, I haven't eaten anything all day. Maybe that's why my head is hurting. Or, that's why I'm so sluggish. Or why does my body feel so heavy? Oh, because you haven't drank enough water to flush your system, And so being intentional with those things helps me to really start to be able to be someone to someone else.
I think that for the most part, relationships start with the relationship that one has with themselves. If you don't think that you the bomb, how are you truly going to expect for someone else to think that you're the bomb? And I mean, think that you are the bomb so much that even in your brokenness, in your hardness, in your making a mistake, messing stuff up, you still see yourself as the bomb.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there, but I'm not there yet. I think, I'm not going to say I think, I need to stop saying that. I know it's because I'm so disconnected that I'm just going through life. When I start remembering things from being younger and realize that not being poured into, as a person for myself, but being poured into because I want you to be this way. And you're not, and me not being happy with that, but I have to go along with it. I broke that. And so I have been so, what's the word? I just said it and can't remember.
Shattered? Broken?
No, disconnected.
Oh, okay.
I've been so disconnected that I'm just walking through life. And so, yeah, basically. So when I hear people tell me, you know, they think that, you know, I'm pretty or whatever, and I'm like, I'm just me.
Yeah. Well, pretty ain't it? Gorgeous, I would say. However,
I'm just saying that I never really think about it on that level. It's either you take me as I am or you leave. And then, you know, I'm used to people leaving. So then that also tells me that I'm not that, if that makes any sense. And not really realizing that it's just because they see that I feel that way about myself. So they're not going to treat me any differently because you're teaching these people how to treat you. So if I am not really taking care of myself, I'm not really loving me and I'm loving others, and I don't say anything or I don't feel like it's an issue when they're not loving me back or liking me back.
Yeah, so there are a few things there.
And that's romantic and platonic.
Yeah.
Across the board.
So you have not done the work with the self part. And so you didn't truly see yourself as a queen.
Mm-mm.
And so when you didn't see yourself as a queen, you entertained people that were not even in the same realm as
I
you.
would say 100%, yes.
The same stratosphere. So when you're going to a lower stratosphere, then your standards are lower. And you're so engulfed in that stratosphere that you begin to see and think and feel and do as the people that are of that stratosphere.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with those people. Those just aren't your people. And so when you came up to where you were supposed to be, and despite how you felt, this is where you were supposed to be. So you got with somebody and you're saying these things and this person is looking at you crazy and asking you these questions like, where do you get that from? Like, why do you think that? Like, you need to think on that. Like, you need to look in the mirror and stay in the mirror. Yeah, you look a little bit like that person and look a little bit like that person, but you're still your own person.
Yeah.
And this person is gorgeous. No matter what you say, it's the truth and you can't refute facts. And once you accept that, then life will be so much better. It's just she know it by heart now. It's just the thing that I say, that I am the standard by which all men shall be judged. I also saw this really, really cool video. I don't remember which one of the social media sites it was, but it was a cook. The lady had a cook. And she was referring to us in sin. But I like to think of it, as she was doing it, it was just all of the negative thoughts that we have about ourselves because of people around us and our own thoughts that we have about ourselves. So we come into this world, this clear cup, right? And then we have all of this negative energy that is put into that cup of clear water. And she put coffee in the cup, right? So it was like I'll say like a 10-ounce cup, glass cup. And she put water in it, filled it up, and then she put a spoonful of coffee in the cup. So of course the cup got black water, right? So then she took this huge pitcher and she's just pouring. And the water is overfilling, and it's dark, and it gets lighter, and it gets lighter, and it gets lighter, till when she's almost done with the pitcher, it starts getting clear again. So you have this clear cup that God created, this amazing being in his likeness. And then the world poured in all of these negative thoughts, all of this poisonous energy, negative energy, the food that we eat that's not good for us, the people that we have around us that are not good for us, the fact that you have to stick with family even though they've done all of these tragic and just negligent things to us. But then God creates you a tribe of people that no matter what are going to pour into you and tell you who you are, what you are, whose you are, and to ensure that your purpose is fulfilled on this earth. And they begin to pour into you until you come out like the ram in the bush, man. Look at that light that's shining back there that she didn't even know existed. And I think you're in the pouring part where people are continuing to pour into you, and some of that darkness is coming out. Like you're like at the coffee has went in, and now the clear water is just starting to be poured in.
Yeah.
And when I think about just you and your podcast, I think because it's just the beginning of the pouring into and the coming out on the other side, a greater, better version of yourself. I just like to say congratulations on coming out and speaking your truth. I know that it can be interesting and challenging when you're speaking your truth and you have other living people that have a different version of that truth, and you may feel some way about their version of the truth, but just the fact that you're explaining your side and getting your version out there, and not allowing that negativity, the comments, even the hurt that comes along with telling your truth to deter you from doing that, healing yourself through conversations with This Could Be a Book podcast. How do you spell that?
THIVCUDBOOK. Like, comment, subscribe. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube.
I'm putting my hat back on. I just got hot for a really good second because I got very, I'm not big on people complimenting and praising. Definitely don't have a praise kink, but it makes me super uncomfortable, mainly because I always think that people are lying anyway. You can't it's very hard to see what other people see when you've been told that that's not who you are for so long, or you feel that's not who you are for so long. So it's a lot of difficulty that I have to hurdle and get through to be clear.
What I was just thinking as you were speaking about how it makes you uncomfortable when someone gives you an affirmation or affirms you.
Can you tell when I'm uncomfortable when people do it?
Yeah. It's the same way I get when people talk about sex in my presence. I was thinking, did you rely on any of your love languages when you were at your lowest?
No.
That you didn't think of them?
No. I was just surviving. Like literally taking a breath sometimes was taxing. Like just literally when I'm saying surviving, I'm saying literally surviving.
I think about when I was at my lowest, or when I felt the most emotional. I always think, what is it that I want? What is it that I need? And I automatically go into action of giving or doing and being those things for other people. Like when I feel like I need money, I'm like, man, all I got is a little high $5. Oh Lord, I gotta stretch this. And so I bless somebody with that high $5. And then automatically what comes to mind is you have two balls in your hand, right? God can't give me anything because my hands are full. So I have to be able to get rid of something so that I can have. I have to get rid of so I can have. So again, that means, what is it that I want? I want to be heard. I need to be a good listener so that I can be heard.
But also, you also have to remember that I was doing things I was like giving acts of service. I was spending quality time. I was doing, not necessarily the physical touch, but at least those two. First two are the two major things, and it was not reciprocated. So what I will say is that, and what I mean by reciprocated, like without me having to say, okay, this is what I need. How am I gonna, can you help me get this? And really, I don't ask for anything. I would go without until I just can't take it anymore. But it wasn't reciprocated, and that's one of the reasons why I feel that you are such a blessing is because you reciprocate and you pour into me what others have not. They have just taken and taken and thought that it's funny to take. If I know that I'm broken and I'm interacting with people, they can see that I'm broken as well. They just choose not to. And so what's very bothersome is to know that not only are you not pouring into me, you are now double taking. And then when I finally am like, oh man, I just can't take anymore, then I'm the bad person. I'm the bad guy. Like, who do you think that you are? And then my response is always, I mean, nothing. It's just that I physically or mentally or emotionally cannot. And so it's never like, okay, well, take your moment and come back. It's just like, I mean, how dare you? And you a bitch, fuck you, and then move on. And it may not be to that extreme. I believe that some people take makeup issues to not be there. And then on the flip side, when I notice that behavior, I will then bounce.
To every man, woman, boy, or girl that is watching this podcast, that is feeling defeated, not feeling 100%, not feeling like they are worthy, that their life matters, that they matter to other people, I am here to tell you that you do matter. Your life is important. The things that are going on in your head, the thousands and millions of things that you have going on in your head, every single one of them are important. You need to speak about them. You need to do something about them. Do not think that because you're going through so much that you are not giving. The hardest thing for her to do at times is to hear how important she is to me, how much I need her, how much I want her. And it's true, you are needed and you are wanted. We are helpmates. We are puzzle pieces that come together to be something incredibly awesome. I cannot be who I am without her. You cannot be who you are without the people that love you, as well as you loving them. It is okay to be down in your sunken place, but it is not okay to stay there. Because I can't be me without her. I can't do what it is that I'm supposed to do without you. So I need you to get up, encourage yourself as I encourage you, and you become that awesome person that you were designed to be, so we can go out there and tear this world up by making it a better place for those that we are leaving behind.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of This Could Be a Book, the 5 love languages and how they impact relationships.
There you done?
Yes, I did.
You got any more conversation for me about the love languages?
No.
No.
You
got anything else you want to tell the people about the 5 languages? Yes, I believe that you love me. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Not on the camera, woman. Everybody gonna see it. How that make you feel? You know what should be on that list?
What?
Is laughter.
Oh, you know how I feel about
I feel like above anything else, laughter is, man, I will, even sometimes to my detriment, will be cracking jokes, whether it's in my head and I'm smiling, or I say it out loud. Most time I say it to myself because, you know, some of these thoughts are a little bit off kilter and only be written in books, which is hilarious. But one thing that does help above anything else, other than the music and the dancing and that gets me out of a funk, laughing.
Yeah.
It just releases something. Like, I always feel like when I'm down, I can see the difference in my skin color. Like, always will see someone, I can tell they're going through something and their skin looks very dark and or whatever. And then when they feel better, it's almost like it's lighter. And laughter can do that almost in an instant.
Yeah.
That is, yeah. I mean, like people who are super serious, if I can make them laugh, I feel like I accomplished something.
What?
Because it releases, but not a lot of people, because I am a recluse, get that from me. We'll have to do a podcast on being in the house all the time and why and how that sometimes is very helpful to me, because the outside world is a trip.
And a half.
Shit. But yes, we will talk about that. That just made something totally click. Always when I'm potting, whether it's This Could Be a Book, Sarcasm and Orgasm, Morning Mimosas, Pussy Talks. Those are the staples at this moment until I branch out even more. But it's always something on a pod that is so triggering for me. And I don't mean like triggering in a bad way. Like it triggers something to say, hey, wake up to to this fact. And I want to say thank you to the people on those pods for allowing me to come on. One thing that I do want to say on the pod, and I know that he'll see it before everybody else, is that the very last time that I was a guest on Will's podcast, he was saying that the other guest on the podcast was, I guess, had given him a hint or an idea of how to work through some of the frustrations and whatever, and which is like him just recording himself and things like that. And so one of the reasons why, and I know I posted that video yesterday, and I didn't realize until after I shot it, I didn't know if I was gonna upload it and post it or not, but it was so fucking helpful. And so I thought about him in that moment and said, oh man, it is therapeutic. It is helpful to get it out. Especially when you don't have anyone, when you are alone, you don't have anyone to talk to. I don't really, outside of my outlet, really talk about how I feel. And yes, I write it down, and it's very helpful. What I have gotten away from is the burning of the writing down. Sometimes those thoughts are so hurtful that I don't write them down. I find a closet in here and I stuff it, which is horrible. But I want to say thank you to Will, because in that moment of thinking he does this and it's very therapeutic, let's try that and see how I feel. And that shit was very helpful. It was one of the things to help me to stop crying on yesterday. So thank you. Sarcasm and Orgasms. The hot mess, but yeah. I wanted to give that shout out before we signed off here that we're gonna do, but yeah. So I probably will have the recordings. What I won't do is I probably won't film me doing it and just have the voice lesson, because when I think about, I almost made a pact with myself to do it every day for a certain amount of time, and then go back and listen to see if am I still in the same place that I worked through it. And I feel like that is fucking awesome, to be honest. So thank you for the idea. You should probably do a little TEDx talk on that, because it's extremely helpful. So thank you, Will.
Thank you so much, Will. Really appreciate it, more than I can put in words. She is changing and evolving, and I could never be more prouder.
No, thank you. This Could Be a Book podcast is found on
YouTube,
uh-huh,
TikTok,
uh-huh,
Facebook,
uh-huh. And where else?
Instagram.
All right, y'all. What should they do?
Subscribe, like, and follow us, you guys.
And
comment on the pods, and let us know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. If we're saying something that you agree with, that you can connect with, and if we don't, let us know that as well. We are very open to constructive criticism. We appreciate the feedback, and hopefully we can make changes that you guys will love in the future. Thanks
All right,
for joining.
y'all. Thank y'all. Bye. God damn it, you got me again.
You something.
Thank you once again for tuning in. If this is your first video, please stay and watch them all. If you've been here, thank you. Stay and continue on this journey with me. I hope that the words spoken on this podcast reaches whoever needs to hear them. I will leave you with this reminder that I tell myself daily. Verily, with difficulty comes ease. We will all have our days or seasons that will range from pitch black to sun-ass bright. What we can do to ease our heavy thoughts on those dark days is remembering that at any given second, the sun will come out. Stay positive, rebuke negativity, and keep living. Until next time, my name is Fatu. This is This Could Be a Book podcast. Please like, subscribe, and comment below. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and of course here on YouTube under the username THIZCUDBABOOK. This Could Be a Book. Bye, humans.